If you have a stubborn shoulder pain that appears when you raise your arm, lift a weight, or even when you lie on your back in bed, what if you've already tried everything? Rotator cuff exercises, physical therapy, and mobility. But you don't get better. It's possible that you're forgetting one of the most important aspects of your shoulder: stability. Today I'm going to show you 4 exercises to work that serratus anterior, a muscle that's anchored to your scapula and your ribs and helps provide stability to your shoulder movements. 4 simple exercises that anyone can do at home. For this, you'll only need a water bottle, a weight, a bench or a chair to sit on, and finally, a wall and a smooth surface to get into a push-up position. But before we start, I just want to let you know that every week I send out an email with all the videos I post on my channel. That newsletter is completely free, and it's the best way to stay up to date and improve your quality of life through exercise. Now let's lie on our backs and start with the first exercise. Lie on your back with your bottle. You can do it on the floor, on the bed, on the couch, wherever you want. The bottle should weigh at least 1 or 2 liters, and you can also use a dumbbell or a weight. I want you to keep in mind that working that serratus anterior muscle is very precise work. It's very detailed work where the small movements, the small instructions are what really matter. Also, it's not a muscle that you'll really notice when doing the exercise, and it can even cause some discomfort when you work it. Don't worry, it's completely normal. We're going to start getting familiar with it. You can place a small pillow behind your head to be more comfortable. I want you to grab that weight with your arm and keep your arm straight, pointing toward the ceiling. What that muscle does is bring the scapula forward, so that's what we're going to reproduce with this movement. I want you, without moving your elbow, without moving your wrist, without moving anything except your scapula, to lift your shoulder off the floor. The scapula comes forward, that muscle contracts, which improves shoulder stability. The higher you go, the greater that contraction will be. We take a breath, let it drop, you see how your scapula rests here. We exhale, that scapula comes forward, pulled by that muscle, and we hold the position for 5 seconds. Gently, I want you to see it well from up there too, because it's really that small difference, that little effort at the end of the range of motion when you try to reach further, that matters and makes that muscle get stronger. Start with 2 kilos, but then you can go higher, up to 5, 6, or even 10 kilos if your shoulder is strong. Let's go for it. We inhale at the bottom. Exhale, pull up as much as possible, as if you wanted to touch the ceiling. Stretch your arm, and you see how here the scapula is moving. It's separating from the spine. We inhale, and as we bring that arm up toward the ceiling, the shoulder touches back. We exhale, the shoulder lifts away, and I try to reach as far as I can with the bottle. 2. I inhale, let the shoulder rest down. Relax, exhale. 3. Pay close attention to how the shoulder moves, how it lifts, how it contracts, and you're not going to feel anything in that serratus anterior muscle. It's not a muscle that's pleasant to work, and it doesn't feel very good either. 4. Let's do one more. Relax. Very good. And 5. What I'm going to do now is, since I've done 5, rest a little, let my arm get a little blood flow back, especially if there has been any discomfort. And we're going to make it a little more complicated by holding the bottle like this. By doing it this way, this creates extra instability in the arm and shoulder, which makes the exercise a little more challenging. Bottle towards the ceiling, we inhale, exhale, and lift the shoulder. Hold. 1. I inhale at the bottom. I breathe out. 2. I breathe out. Very good. 3. Try to get the bottom of the bottle to reach the ceiling. Let go. 4. Last repetition. And 5. Put the bottle aside. Rest for a moment. Take note of how it feels. And let's go for the second one. We sit on that same stool to continue working on stability and the serratus anterior. We sit back down on the chair for this second precise targeted exercise for the serratus anterior. It's an exercise that you'll really feel in your muscles, especially in your armpit and along the side of your rib cage. Pay close attention because the details are important. First, sit up very straight, pushing your chest outward. Second, interlace your hands at the back of your neck. If your shoulder bothers you when you get into this position, you can place your hands a little lower or even at the level of your trapezius muscles. Pay close attention. What I want is for you to move your elbow forward and upward. The scapula should come forward and get as close as possible to the rib cage. It's a very, very subtle movement. Pay close attention. We're going to start with the elbows slightly open and then relax. I want you to close them, bringing them forward and upward. This small movement, pay close attention, small movement, forward and upward, forward and upward, forward and upward, is what will create that very interesting contraction. You're going to feel it along the side, and I assure you that after 10 repetitions, it will be very, very worked and fatigued. Let's do it 10 times together. I inhale, relax my elbows, always very upright. Exhale, bring my elbows together in front and up. 1. I relax, open my elbows a little. Exhale, bring my elbows together, and notice how they go up. This is the movement we're interested in. Very small. You'll also notice a lot of pressure behind your neck because your hands have to stay anchored in that position. 2. We release. There, you've seen it. 3. Relax, let go. 4. Come on, let's do 6 more. I bring my elbows in, exhale, bring those elbows up and forward, as if I wanted to take them very, very far. 5. Relax, let go. 6, 7, 8. 7, 9, last rep, elbows in, 8, 8, 9. 15, 21, 26, 27. Lift as high as you can, pressing against your head. At 10, contract strongly in the serratus. Hold, it's tough on the shoulders. If you can't reach 10, do 4, rest, then keep going. Do about 30. Very good also for, and remember, forward movement with the elbow, so that forward, upward. Now let's stand up to start with the first variation of push-ups. Stand in front of, in a way, de push-ups. Fully extended, spread your feet a little so they're a bit wider than shoulder width apart, and look, we're going to widen the hand placement so they're slightly to the outside, but still at shoulder level. Here we're going to do push-ups, making sure the serratus anterior is activated. First of all, you need to stand up very straight with your chest out. The second thing is to let your body drop until you're either very close to the ground or just above it. Everything is about standing up straight and pushing your chest out. Next, let your body drop until your head nears or touches the wall. This is the first part of the movement. It's not that important. The important part is the second one, which is when you push. I want you to push, and especially here at the end of the movement, I want you to really push. As much as you can, as if you wanted to push the wall with your hands and move it as far away from you as possible. This little detail makes the thoracic spine round and brings the scapula forward so that the serratus anterior contracts. As you can see, it's those small precise details that make the serratus anterior work and therefore improve the deep stability of the shoulder. Let's try it slowly again together. I lean toward the wall. If possible, have your forehead touch the wall. Next, I push, and at the end of the range of motion, those scapulae move forward. Look, here they're together. You can see here how my scapula is, and when I push, that upper back area arches, the scapula comes forward, and the inner edge sticks out much more. You won't feel as much contraction as in the seated exercise, but again, the detail of rounding your back and pushing the wall by moving your scapula outward is extremely important. We're going to do 10 repetitions at this easy level to master the movement, and then 10 more lying face down on the floor for a much higher difficulty, only suitable for those with more conditioned shoulders. Let's do it. Hands apart. I'll shift a bit more left here, at shoulder height. Feet shoulder width apart. From here I inhale, let myself fall, my forehead touches the wall, I exhale, and at the end, that's when I round everything to push those shoulder blades forward and activate this serratus. 1, release. 2, release. 3, release. 4, release. 5, release. Round as much as possible, push the shoulder blades out. 6, if your wrists bother you, you can move your hands a little farther out. Release. 7, 8, come on, last 2. 9, let go. Round it as much as possible. And 10, relax a little, move your shoulders. It's normal that at the end, when we round the spine, the shoulders rise up a bit. It's normal for it to feel weird or strange. In fact, you won't feel the same kind of side contraction as in the seated exercise. It feels slightly different. If you do everything right, I'm sure tomorrow you'll have some strange soreness around your ribs, which will be a sign that you've managed to target the work correctly. If not, I invite you to keep improving, since working that serratus anterior muscle is all about precise details. Let's move down here to the floor to work on those push-up pluses, push-ups face down. We're back on the mat, and before we start this variation, I want you to know that it's extremely difficult and not everyone can do it. I'm going to break it down into 2 variations at the same time, one with support on your knees to make it easier, and one with support on your toes, which is much more challenging. That serratus anterior muscle really works when we do push-ups on the floor, which is a more aggressive level, as I said, than on the wall, so I invite you to give it a try, and you can do it even without any of this. Move on to the next exercise or go back to the variation we saw on the wall. We start by getting into a quadruped position. We're going to open our hands a little so they're wider than shoulder width apart. We're going to take a small step back with one knee, then with the other knee, and from here, we're ready. I let my pelvis drop and I'm in a push-up position on my knees. I'll explain it to you again. On all fours, I open my hands a little outward, take a step back with one knee, then with the other knee, bring my pelvis forward, and now I'm in position. From here, it's as simple as letting myself drop and then pushing up. And when I push, pay close attention to that overhead camera. I round my back. I don't stay sunken down here. Here, my shoulder blades are very close to my spine, very close together. We're looking for the opposite, which is what that serratus anterior does. I want to separate them, and look here at how I separate them and how my back opens up. That's it. Some people go down just a little, some people go all the way down. Well, just do the exercise in a range where you feel comfortable. I'm going to do 5 like this and 5 with a little more difficulty. Let's go for it. I inhale, go as far as I can, exhale, and round my back as much as possible. 1. I inhale, touch down low, exhale, and round my back. 2. I inhale, touch, exhale, and round my back. 3. Come on. We go down and exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. We want to move to an even harder level because our body allows us to. I'm going to place my toes behind me. I'm going to lift my knees. The exercise becomes more demanding and there's more leverage. And I continue. Down, down. Round your back. 6. 5 more like that. Only for those who can. 7. 4. 8. 9. 4. And 10. Very good. We sit back on our heels to relax the lower back area and evaluate. An intense exercise, no doubt, when it comes to your shoulder, when it comes to your anatomy. Remember that there are 3 supports on the wall with your knees, with your legs stretched out. And don't leave yet, because we're going to see a 4th exercise that, for me, is the best of all. Catch your breath for a moment and let's stand up again. We finish with the last exercise, the most intense of all, a forearm slide on the wall. This is an extremely demanding exercise for shoulder stability and of course for the serratus anterior. Pay close attention because as always the details are extremely important. We stand facing the wall. We place our forearms on the wall in front of us so that the arm is parallel to the floor with the shoulder just behind where the elbow is supported. You can place your forearms slightly crossed upwards, however you prefer. Your feet should be shoulder width apart, and the distance should be the same as the length of your arm. From here, we start by activating the serratus anterior, rounding your upper back. Look, it's not the same to be here close to the wall with my chest as it is to round my upper back, sink my chest, which makes the scapula come forward and creates some activation. From here, I'm going to take a breath, and as I exhale, I'm going to slide my arms up without taking my forearms off the wall. As high as you can. Obviously, when you stretch your arms, you'll see how your body gets closer to the wall. We take a breath, return to the starting position, always thinking about pushing that wall with your forearms, keeping your upper back rounded, and that would be 1 repetition. We go down until that arm is in the starting position, parallel to the floor, and repeat 10 times. Do you want to try it with me? Let's go then. I take a breath, keeping your upper back nicely rounded. There at the dorsal level we release. I take and I lean toward the wall. 2. I breathe in at the bottom, parallel to the floor, and relax. 3. Round your upper back, let go. 4. 4. Round your upper back up. 4. 5. Obviously, if you have a wall like mine that's a bit rough, you can stop after 5 so you don't hurt your skin. Let go. 6. Breathe in at the bottom. Round your upper back. You can see it here. Release up. 2. Thank you. 7. Round your spine. Release. 8. Round your spine. Look, it doesn't look nice, but it's functional. It's good for that moment. 9. Round. Goodbye. Very good. And 10. Perfect. Remember, when returning to the starting position, don't let your chest sink forward. Always keep that separation between your shoulder blades, as if you want to make your back wide. While it's true that when you go up, you'll lose that because your spine extends, when you return to the starting position, remember to push it forward again. Strange sensations, right? Demanding for sure, because you've probably never worked your serratus anterior before. For me, it's one of the most important muscles for shoulder stability. Stability. The main pillar that's always forgotten when we want to rehab shoulder pain. Don't worry if tomorrow you feel some soreness you've never felt before. It's your serratus anterior starting to wake up. If you want to continue working on your shoulder, completing the 2 missing pillars here in this video, mobility and strength. We have a small 7-day event called Shoulder Week, which you can get through the link that appears right up here, where I will teach you where your pain comes from, how to work on those 3 pillars at your level, and how to manage pain during rehabilitation. That's all. I sincerely thank you from the bottom of my heart for staying with me until the end of the video. I hope these exercises help you and that you return to Marco Sacristan ka na Fisioterapia to Alcance from time to time to keep caring for your body. Take care, and I'll see you very, very soon. Bye, friends.